How many books did you read in the last 3 months? Can you tell me some of the key takeaways that you learned? And most importantly, how much of these key takeaways did you apply in your life? All of these books that we read are actually wasting our time and are putting us away from our goals. We tend to focus more on consuming more and more information rather than doing what needs to be done. All this reading creates an illusion of action. We are thinking that we are progressing towards our goal, we are giving our best, and actually what is happening right now? We are reading a book in 3 days, we feel very proud with ourselves, we pick up the next book, some kind of a bestseller, and we think that with the knowledge from it we will become even more and more an expert in our field. And then we get the next one and the next one, and we start reaching out to local experts who will have their own books, and we think that all of this is making us progress. But actually, all of this leads to us not having enough time for our goals. And on top of this, we're staying in our comfort zone. We all know that in order for us to grow, we need to be outside of our comfort zone. But reading books is exactly that. You're staying at home, you're comfortable, you are on your couch, and you're getting all this knowledge. How much of a challenge is that? And on the other side, how much of a challenge is going out there, speaking with potential customers that you might have, trying to sell your service or idea, or simply building your product? Even if building your product is on your laptop, it's still more challenging and you still learn more things than just sitting and reading a book. And I'm speaking from experience. When I became a manager for the first time, I got all the different books related to leadership. I started with the classic ones such as Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek, then I went into more management related ones from Peter Drucker, and I was also going for books from local experts on this topic. You name it, I've probably read it. And yet there were constantly coming up different situations on my work for which I wasn't prepared. No one on the books was saying how you should behave when you're trying to fire someone. No one was saying how you need to behave and how you need to approach a situation where you're managing and you're trying to give advice to someone who is 30 years older than you. All these different kinds of situations, they're not in the books. They will only happen if you go out there and you put yourself in these kinds of tough situations. I could have always said that I will not go for the manager role, I'll stay at my agent role and I'll just read all these different books, and only when I feel ready I'll go for the manager role. That would have been a very, very big mistake. So instead of focusing on all these different books, I understood that the only way to get better at this role, the only way to be better at leadership, at management, was to actually get into all these different situations and see how challenging they are and try to figure out what I need to do. There were tips and tricks in the books that I have been reading, but I realized that when the actual situation came, I didn't remember anything from these key points. I wasn't able to apply any of them, and most of them were not specifically fitting to the situations that were happening as a leader. Especially all the leadership and management books, they're looking at the bigger perspective, and you're not able to really get specific advice for each scenario. You needed to go out there and learn it. So all these different books, even though I have read tens of them during the 2 or 3 years while I was a manager at that firm, were pretty much useless to me because they were wasting my time. I was learning a lot more by simply being at work and putting myself in different kinds of tough situations and different kinds of tough challenges. That is why we need to follow a better approach towards reading. It's all about reading, getting key takeaways, applying them, and only then going back to reading. This is something that I have been doing now for the last couple of years, and I can definitely say that it has been helping me to really understand all the knowledge in these books and apply it in real life. Rather than focusing on reading 100 books for 1 year, it's a lot better to read 5 books, get the most from them, apply it to your life, reach the next level, and only then go for other books. There are also other things that you need to focus on when changing your approach towards reading, but I have explained it more on a previous video that I have created, so make sure you check that out. I hope that the next book you read will not be a one that is wasting your time, but is a one that will be a stepping stone to your success. Now, speaking about being successful, make sure you subscribe to this channel because the content coming up will help you with exactly that. See you in the next videos.